I spent 6 months out there, beyond the wall, during the last winter. Supposed to be a 2-week mission. We heard a rumor Mance Rayder was planning to attack Eastwatch, so we went out to look for some of his men. Capture them, gather some knowledge. The wildlings who fight for Mance Rayder are hard men. Harder than you'll ever be. They know their country better than we do. They knew there was a storm coming in. So they hid in their caves and waited for it to pass. And we got caught in the open. Wind so strong, it yanked 100-foot trees straight from the ground, roots and all. If you took your gloves off to find your cock to have a piss, you lost a finger to the frost. And all in darkness. You don't know cold. Neither of you do. The horses died first. Didn't have enough to feed them, to keep them warm. Eating the horses was easy. But later when we started to fall, that wasn't easy. We should have had a couple of boys like you along, shouldn't we? Soft, fat boys like you. We'd have lasted a fortnight on you, and still had bones left over for soup. Soon, we'll have new recruits. You lot will be passed along to the Lord Commander for assignment. And they will call you Men of the Night's Watch. But you'd be fools to believe it. You're boys still. And come the winter, you will die. Like flies.
I cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life.
But perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king, Robert.
Lord Beric Dondarrion.
You shall have the command. Assemble 100 men and ride to Sir Gregor's keep.
As you command.
In the name of Robert of the House Baratheon, the first of his name, King of the Andals and the First Men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms and Protector of the Realm, I charge you to bring the King's justice to the false knight Gregor Clegane and all those who shared in his crimes. I denounce him and attaint him. I strip him of all ranks and titles, of all lands and holdings, and sentence him to death.
My lord, this is a drastic action. It would be better to wait for King Robert's return.
Grand Maester Pycelle,
My lord.
send a raven to Casterly Rock. Inform Tywin Lannister that he has been summoned to court to answer for the crimes of his bannermen. He will arrive within the fortnight or be branded an enemy of the crown and a traitor to the realm.
A bold move, my lord, and admirable. But is it wise to yank the lion's tail? Tywin Lannister is the richest man in all the Seven Kingdoms. Gold wins wars, not soldiers.
And how come Robert is king and not Tywin Lannister?
Summoned to court to answer for the crimes of your bannerman, Gregor Clegane, the Mountain. Arrive within the fortnight, I'll be branded an enemy of the crown. Poor Ned Stark. Brave man, terrible judgment.
All hail his grace, Joffrey of houses Baratheon and Lannister, the first of his name. King of the Andals and the First Men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and Protector of the Realm.
I command the council to make all necessary arrangements for my coronation. I wish to be crowned within the fortnight. Today I shall accept oaths of fealty from my loyal councillors.
Sir Barristan, I believe no man here could ever question your honor.
King Robert's seal, unbroken. Lord Eddard Stark is herein named Protector of the Realm, to rule as regent until the heir come of age.
May I see that letter, Sir Barristan? Protector of the Realm. Is this meant to be your shield, Lord Stark? A piece of paper.
Those were the king's words.
We have a new king now. Lord Eddard, when we last spoke, you offered me some counsel. Allow me to return the courtesy. Bend the knee, my lord. Bend the knee and swear loyalty to my son. And we shall allow you to live out your days in the grey waste you call home.
Your son has no claim to the throne.
Liar!
You condemn yourself with your own mouth, Lord Stark. Sir Barristan seized this traitor.
Sir Barristan is a good man, a loyal man. Do him no harm.
You think he stands alone?
Kill him! Kill all of them, I command it!
Commander! Take the Queen and her children into custody. Escort them back to the royal apartments and keep them there, under guard.
Men of the watch!
I want no bloodshed. Tell your men to lay down their swords. No one needs to die.
I did warn you not to trust me.
I was 16. My brother Jamie and I were riding when we heard a scream. She ran out onto the road, clothes half torn off, with 2 men on her heels. Jamie scared away the men easily enough while I wrapped her in my cloak. She was too scared to send off on her own, so while Jamie hunted down the rapers, I took her to the nearest inn and fed her. Her name was Taisha. She was a wheelwright's orphan, and she was hungry. Together we finished off 3 chickens and a flagon of wine. Impossible as it seems, there was a time when I was unaccustomed to wine. I forgot how afraid I was around girls. How I was always waiting for them to laugh at me, or look away embarrassed, or ask me about my tall, handsome brother. I forgot about everything but Taisha. And somehow I found myself in her bed.
For 3 chickens, I should hope so.
Didn't last long. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But she was good to me. She kissed me afterwards and sang me a song. And by morning, I was deep enough in love to ask for her hand. A few lies, a few gold coins, 1 drunken septon, and there you have it, man and wife. For a fortnight anyway, until the septon sobered up and told my father.
Well, I imagine that was the end of all that.
Not quite. First, my father had Jamie tell me the truth. Girl was a whore, you see. Jamie had arranged the whole thing. The road, the rapers, all of it. He thought it was time I had a woman. And after my brother confessed, my father brought in my wife and gave her to his guards. He paid her well. Silver for each man. How many whores command that kind of price? He brought me into the barracks and made me watch. By the end, She had so much silver that the coins were slipping through her fingers and rolling onto the floor.
I would have killed the man who did that to me.
King in the North!
I keep expecting you to leave me one castle or another for safekeeping, but you drag me along from camp to camp. Have you grown fond of me, Stark? Is that it? I've never seen you with a girl.
If I left you with one of my bannermen, your father would know within a fortnight. My bannerman would receive a raven with a message. Release my son, you'll be rich beyond your dreams. Refuse, and your house will be destroyed, root and stem.
You don't trust the loyalty of the men following you into battle?
I trust them with my life. Just not with yours.
Smart boy. What's wrong? Don't like being called boy? Insulted.
Will you insult yourself, Kingslayer? You've been defeated by a boy. You're held captive by a boy. Perhaps you'll be killed by a boy. Stannis Baratheon sent ravens to all the High Lords of Westeros. The King Joffrey Baratheon is neither a true king nor a true Baratheon. He's your bastard son.
If that's true, Stannis is the rightful king. How convenient for him.
My father learned the truth. That's why you had him executed.
I was your prisoner when Ned Stark lost his head.
And your son killed him so the world would learn who fathered him. And you pushed my brother from a window because he saw you with the Queen.
You have proof? You want to trade gossip like a couple of fishwives?
I'm sending one of your cousins down to King's Landing with my peace terms.
You think my father's going to negotiate with you? You don't know him very well.
No. But he's starting to know me.
3 victories don't make you a conqueror.
It's better than 3 defeats.
In the morning, I'll destroy my brother's army. When that's done,
Baratheon and Stark will fight their common enemy together, as they have done many times before.
Our 2 houses have always been close, which is why I am begging you to reconsider this battle. Negotiate a peace with your brothers.
Negotiate with Stannis? You heard him out there. I'd have better luck debating the wind. Please bring my terms to your son. I believe we are natural allies. I hope he feels the same. Together, we could end this war in a fortnight.
You'll die for this!
No, wait! It wasn't leave. They'll hang you for this. Now. I won't leave him. You can't avenge him if you're dead.
Not that way.
Our father requires Lord Edmure to wed one of his daughters, Rosalind.
How old is she?
19.
Could I see her first?
You want to count her teeth? We depart for the twins in the morning. We need an answer before we leave, and a wedding not more than a fortnight thereafter, or this alliance is at an end.
Your father does realize we're in the middle of a war.
Father is old. It would put his heart at peace if he could see her wed to a good husband.
And his recent experience has made him wary of long engagements.
He has every right to be. Please excuse us while we discuss it.
Why should I let that old ferret choose my bride for me? At the very least, I should be offered the same choice you were. I'm his liege lord.
He's a proud man, and we've wounded him.
I didn't wound him. My answer is no.
Listen to me, and listen very carefully.
The laws of gods and men are very clear. No man can compel another man to marry.
The laws of my fist are about to compel your teeth.
It's all right. You heard him. If you refuse, our alliance with the Freys is dead.
He's wanted me for one of his daughters since I was 12. He's not going to stop wanting it now. When I say no, you will come back and offer me a daughter of my choosing.
You're willing to risk our freedom and our lives for a chance at a prettier wife.
I have a war to fight. We can't win it without them. I have no time to haggle. You said you wanted to make amends for the stone mill.
You recall that heroic engagement?
I had something less permanent in mind.
I've won every battle, but I'm losing this war. If we don't do this and do it now, we're lost.
I'll marry her.
You're paying for my sins, Uncle. It's not fair or right. I'll remember it.
Ride with me and you'll never need another contract. You'll have gold and castles and lordships of your choosing when I take back the Seven Kingdoms.
You have no ships, you have no siege weapons, you have no cavalry.
A fortnight ago I had no army. A year ago I had no dragons. You have 2 days to decide.
Show me your cunt. I want to see if it's worth fighting.
No, no. You're a queen, not an ox. Your grandfather gave me a necklace, just like this one. My 51st name day.
The wedding is in a fortnight, Grandmother. You can't say no to everything.
Nonsense. My little dears, go and speak to the jewelers of King's Landing. Tell them who you are, tell them who sent you. The one who brings me the best necklace will get to keep the next best. The Marjorie Tyrell who walks into the scepter fortnight from now will inspire 1,000 songs. How sad it will be if she's wearing rubbish like that.
Perhaps I should just let Joffrey choose it for me. End up with a string of dead sparrow heads around my neck.
You watch that. Even here, even with me.
You're to stand trial in a fortnight for murdering the king.
Do you believe I murdered Joffrey?
No, my lord. You didn't.
No. Gods, no. The world is a better place without him, but I had nothing to do with it. I would like to think, if I were arranging a royal assassination, I'd plan it in such a way that I wouldn't be standing there gawking like a fool when the king died. Trial in a fortnight. Have they announced the judges yet?
Your father?
Of course.
Mace Tyrell?
Who will vote exactly as my father tells him to vote.
Prince Oberon of Dawn.
Oberon? I'll give it to my father. He never fails to take advantage of a family tragedy.
I'm supposed to get a list of names from you, my lord. Anyone who might testify on your behalf.
Oh, I can call my own witnesses. How generous of them. Very well, my wife, Sansa.
My lord, she's gone.
Gone?
No one's seen her since the wedding. You don't think she...
No one had more cause to kill Joffrey than Sansa. But the girl's no assassin. Whoever killed the king wanted me to lose my head for it. And with my wife's disappearance, it makes me seem that much more guilty. Podrick.
Yes, my lord.
They'll be following you now.
Who will?
I don't know. They, the ominous they. The man pulling the strings, or woman, my father. Maybe Joffrey was too much work for him. Sweet Tommen would be so much easier to handle. Whenever something bad happens to me, I assume it's my sister that had a hand in it. But say what you will of Cersei. She loves her children. She is the only one I'm certain had nothing to do with this murder. Which makes it unique, as King's Landing murders go.
Any other witnesses, my lord?
Varys could vouch for me if he dared.
He's already been called as a witness for the Queen.
Of course. Fetch Bronn. I have a job for him.
I've already asked, my lord. They won't let him see you.
Why not?
They say he's a known cutthroat and your close associate. He's under investigation himself.
And my brother. Would they at least allow me to see Jaime?
I'll ask, my lord. There's something else, my lord. A man... I didn't know his face. He came to ask if I'd testify against you. Said I'd be named Sir Podrick Payne if I told the judges you'd bought a poison called the Strangler.
Sir Podrick Payne? That's a nice ring to it. What did you tell him?
I didn't tell them anything, my lord.
Are you going to accept their offer?
My lord.
Testifying against me wasn't a suggestion. If they can't tempt you with honey, they'll choose something less sweet.
You've been good to me, my lord.
Pod. The trial's in a fortnight. They'll want an answer before that.
Already gave them an answer, my lord.
I will not have you dying on my behalf. Do you hear me? If I have to take that long walk to the executioner's block, I don't want to see your head already mounted.
My lord.
Pod, I am giving you an order. Go and find my brother and tell him I need him. Then get yourself out of King's Landing before it's too late. Pod! This is farewell.
Farewell, lord.
Pod. There has never lived a more loyal squire.
When will the wedding take place, in your mind?
As soon as decency permits. After we've allowed Tommen the appropriate time to mourn his brother. And Marjorie to mourn her husband.
A fortnight?
That seems reasonable.
No jugglers, no jousting dwarfs, no 77-course meals. And your wedding to Loras?
Shortly after Tommen's.
Shortly?
A fortnight.
We march on Winterfell within the fortnight, before the snows trap us here.
In the last fortnight, since our pact with the Masters, how many killings have been carried out by the Sons of the Harpy?
None.
And how many Masters have been butchered by the Freemen?
2. But that was the day of the pact. Since then, nothing.
So it's safe to say that a fragile peace has taken hold.
For now.
For now is the best we get in our profession.
But now I seek vengeance on Sansa the whore. And my brother, the imp, who killed his own kin. Born amongst lions, I'll curse from within. I will slay him, I swear. With noose or with knife. That would take me a fortnight, a moon, or my life.
You're wondering why I brought you all here. After all, we just had a feast. Since when does old Walder give us 2 feasts in a single fortnight? Well, it's no good being Lord of the Riverlands if you can't celebrate with your family. That's what I say. I've gathered every Frey who means a damn thing, so I can tell you my plans for this great house now that winter has come. But first, a toast. No more of that Gornish horse piss. This is the finest Arbor gold. Proper wine for proper heroes. Stand together. Not you. I'm not wasting good wine on a damn woman. Maybe I'm not the most pleasant man. I'll admit it, but I'm proud of you lot. You're my family. The men who helped me slaughter the Starks at the Red Wedding. Yes. Yes. Cheer. Brave men. All of you. Butchered a woman pregnant with her babe. Cut the throat of a mother of 5. Slaughtered your guests after inviting them into your home. But you didn't slaughter every one of the Starks. No, no. That was your mistake. You should have ripped them all out, root and stem. Leave one wolf alive, and the sheep are never safe.
No, thank you. My condolences, Your Grace, on the death of your son. From all reports, he was a fine young man.
The Iron Bank didn't send you here to offer condolences.
Condolences and congratulations. To become the first ruling queen of the 7 kingdoms, that's quite an accomplishment. The Iron Bank appreciates how you cast off the yoke of superstition, freeing the crown from elements who sought to subvert the rule of law.
The destruction of the Sept of Baelor was a tragic accident.
Indeed. But sometimes tragedies are necessary to restore order and rational leadership.
The Iron Bank wants its gold back.
Your father never minced words either. But yes, your debts are considerable. And you are now engaged in a conflict on several fronts. We both know how expensive war can be.
And we both know gold wins wars.
Your vaults are empty. Your late husband's profligacy saw to that. Your wealthiest allies, the Tyrells, are now your enemies. You are surrounded on all sides by rivals for the throne.
And the Iron Bank wants to bet on a winner.
We don't make bets. We invest in endeavors we deem likely to be successful.
A fancy way of saying bet. The war's already begun. I've drawn first blood. I decapitated the Dornish snake. My armada owns the Narrow Sea.
Euron Greyjoy's armada owns the Narrow Sea.
Euron Greyjoy is loyal to me.
For now.
Daenerys Targaryen has 3 full-grown dragons. How well do wooden ships fare against fire-breathing dragons?
Her dragons might not be as invulnerable as some think. But let's talk about the Targaryen girl. You want to invest in her. I'm guessing the Iron Bank invested considerable gold in the slave trade. How are your profits? Now that Daenerys has freed all the slaves.
The slave trade has entered a downturn, it's true.
From what I gather, she considers herself more of a revolutionary than a monarch. In your experience, how do bankers usually fare with revolutionaries? The Lannisters owe the Iron Bank quite a lot of money, but Lannisters always pay their debts. To former slaves, or Dothraki, or dragons.
Your father's daughter, indeed.
Give me a fortnight. Stay in King's Landing as my honored guest, and when you return to Braavos, I swear to you, my debt will be paid in full.
If we have the Dothraki ride hard on the King's Road, they'll arrive at Winterfell within the fortnight.
And the Unsullied?
We can sail with them to White Harbor, meet the Dothraki here on the King's Road, then ride together to Winterfell.
Our men in King's Landing will march north in 3 days' time.
It'll take us a fortnight just to gather supplies for the trade.
We don't have a fortnight. If the north falls, we fall. 3 days. The remaining forces in the Westerlands will take the river road east. We'll meet at Lord Harway's town and march together to Winterfell.